All right, you ready to get this thing started, man?
You won't give Mike this like join certain section, yeah?
My man's got the tote bag on deck. That's a tote, right? It's called the tote. That's not a duffel. Yeah. The duffel has the zip.
Definitely,
got you.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot more about designer stuff these days.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was mad poor a couple years ago. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. I had no money growing up. Like I came up in a group home. I don't have shit. I was like working the radio, broke the whole time, bro, making like no money.
Well, how did you get into the radio, though?
Oh man, well, I mean, it's a long story. I'll tell you my story. We here for you today, bro.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: now that I'm at a radio, into real estate, I have some bread. I'm like shopping a lot more for stuff, and the bags. I've been in Louis Vuitton like nonstop. Is a problem. I have a Louis Vuitton addiction, and I didn't know anything about anything. I just went in. I didn't even know they made like men's bags besides like a briefcase. Like I always thought like men just had briefcase, backpack, period.
Oh, okay.
So I'm learning about bum bags now. I'm learning about totes. I'm learning the duffels. I'm learning about the travels.
Back then they used to think that was feminine too, innit?
It was a whole different world. I always thought I was very like, oh, that's a fanny pack right there. I'm not with it. But now I see, I'm like, oh, nah, this dude's is hard to put the strap in there.
You gotta know how to wear it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you wear it. And it's like, I learned a lot. It's about pieces. I think people mess up a lot when it comes to fashion by just trying to buy what like the thing to buy is. Like everybody's on the whatchamacallit, the damier, like they just want big logos, they want to show off I'm like, nah, it's the pieces. Like the people that's going the furthest in fashion, they'll wear like Skechers, but they'll have like some Rick pants and like they mix it up crazy. And I feel like it's what makes fashion so awesome is like it really like I watch these dudes on TikTok that they'll run up on somebody in the street like, who are you wearing? What are you wearing? Give us a fashion tip.
Yeah. What you gonna?
Yeah. But the fashion tip, I'd say 9 times out of 10 is always like just be yourself. You know? And what other industries do you know that promote being yourself?
No. Not much.
You know what I'm saying? Most industries,
you don't gotta follow what they tell you to do or whatever the case may be.
They like be like us or be like that or do this or so very few people or very few businesses or
free
industries.
Agents, man.
You know what I'm saying? But in the building, just to give a proper introduction, I got Dakbo in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's your name again, man? I'm so sorry.
It's Moises.
Maurice.
No, Moises.
Moises.
Yeah, Moises.
How do you spell that?
It's Moises.
Moises. Moises.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
You're the first Moises I've ever met in my life. It sounds very Jewish though. I'm gonna give you that. And I'm half Jewish. I'm not full Jewish, but I respect it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we're all right with that.
I know we're not getting too deep into the roots, but where did this start for you, Dakbo? What is this fashion? Because I don't even know where you're from, nothing. Here in New York, everybody's crazy about fashion.
Yeah, I feel that. Basically, I came from St. Kitts and Nevis. I don't know if you know
I have no idea. Is that the islands? Is that Europe?
In the islands, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's shaped like how I like to call it, like a chicken bone and a meatball. That's the exact shape. When we put it up, we could probably put a picture and show you how it looks.
Demir, put a picture up, bro. Bow.
Yes, sir. But basically, you want to know what Dakbo is as well? So Dakbo is state of being.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. So state of being means how you have your appearance, like how you be on a whole, how you eat, how you take care of yourself, how you go on a regular basis. So that's how Dakbo started. But basically where the name came from, it was a self-curated name.
Okay.
So meaning like people around me who was my close friends, they were saying like, yo, because my first name was like Dakim.
Okay.
So they took off the eam and put Bo because my dad was like, yo, when you pass people, you got to give them like a bow. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what it's called back home. Like, give them a bow. I was like, okay, cool. And ever since the days go by, I just keep hearing Dakbo. I was like, what's that? And I like to question things. So I was like, I need to do my research. What is that? Because people calling me that. I don't want to be in no bad situation where they calling me something.
So you didn't even know why they was calling you that?
No, I didn't know. It was actually Dakim.
But every time Dakim come around, he give you the bow.
Okay. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let me research it. And I was like, state of being. Wow. So I figured it got potential in it. I was like, something could come out of this. I feel like that's what I should definitely delve into.
That's wild. You know, in New York, when you go like that, they call it a dap.
Dap.
You would have been Dakbo here.
Yeah.
Here you would have been Dakbo.
Dakbo.
You know what I'm saying? Down there, Dakbo.
Yeah. Most definitely, yeah.
But that's wild. So you stumbled into a name. It became like a lifestyle for you.
Precisely, yeah.
So Dakbo, when did it become like a name of a brand? Like, were you always into making stuff or like creating clothing?
Not necessarily, but I like drawing.
Okay.
Apparently, but I play sports. I came off of that whole section of life in terms of drawing. I don't draw anymore.
Okay.
But as I reached in college, I was like, let me start drawing a little stuff in my leisure time. So when I draw stuff, I was like, this look pretty cool. I don't see people wear this much. Let me see if I can make something out of it. And then maybe I will start stitching a couple stuff on my leisure time. And I was like, yo, this look pretty cool. I wonder if people will wear this. And then I just start drawing on the iPad, and then I'll put it to the laptop, and then I just get everything going. And I was like, I wonder if I could start designing clothes. And then when I say that, I was like, yo, this needs to blow up.
So this started in St. Kitts.
No, it's
Okay.
actually in America.
So wait, let's take it back just a little bit, just a touch. You say you were going to school?
Yeah, college.
What were you in college for?
Business management.
Okay, so you were going to school for business. Did you plan on having a job like in the business world? Like, were you gonna be like into accounting, or like what was the thought going to college? Because it doesn't seem like you need college to do what you're doing right now.
No, not necessarily. I feel as though college is just a gateway for you to start in life, but it's not necessarily what you have to do. If you don't feel comfortable going to college, that's up to you. But honestly, recommended is a good start to kickstart your life. So, but for me, I feel as though working for people wasn't always my thing.
Okay.
But you have to do it, because how would you learn? You
Yeah, no,
understand?
it's a balance.
You got to learn from somebody.
But when you finished high school, I guess you start going to college. What was the thought? Was it like, I'm gonna go to college, get this degree, and go find a job, or were you thinking?
that was the idea at first.
Okay.
Plus, I play sports.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Okay, I got you.
But apparently, I got injured, so I just had to find the next thing in my life to do. So I just stopped doing that.
So you went to school, you was more so, I'm gonna get into this business management course with the purpose of playing soccer and being at a higher level, playing in college.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Got you. Yeah. And I know, and that's a great approach for a lot of people, because I know people that's not the best on as far as education goes, but they're athletic. Right. And college is a great place to put your abilities on display. You meet other players, you get a lot more attention from the bigger leagues, from the major leagues. Yeah. So it makes sense why you would take that approach. It's just funny that you end up going for business, and then starting a business became like just out of the blue backup plan.
Yeah, it was a better fit for me, because when I work for people, I understand everything they're doing, and I figure, well, if I learn all of this from you, I could do it myself.
Straight up.
So maybe it might not be what you may call it, accounting. It might not be a shipping company, but it's something I'm involved in. I feel as though when you're doing something in life, anything you're doing, once you're doing something you love, you should be getting paid to do it. Why not?
So why the clothes though? Because it sounds like the drawing was something that you really loved, and it was more of like an art. Did it just happen to be like, you know what, this stuff would look good on clothes, or was there a reason you got into the clothing and the fashion world?
I was looking for a logo for my business itself. I wasn't really getting into the clothing at first, but I figured that's the best way to start.
Okay.
So apparently I wanted a logo for my enterprise. I want to build an enterprise.
Okay.
So I was like, what will be the best logo to put for my enterprise? And I was like, there's so much logos out here, and I don't want to copyright anybody. I don't want to do all of that. So when I had a dream one night, and I just said to myself, what's this? And I'm thinking about it, and I was like, my soul like is speaking to me a little bit. I'm not going crazy apparently, but I'm just saying like, what is this? And this is how the logo came across. So I was drawing on the iPad one day, and I draw like a soul image, what I think a soul should look like. And then apparently I made a mistake, and the iPad, like, it turned over and it turned upside down. So it's like it was like a mirror image. So I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And now when you look at it, it's a mirror image, and people think it's a puzzle.
Oh, wow.
So it's your soul, but it's in a mirror image if you put your hand halfway over it.
That's wild.
So when you think of it now, when I put the D inside as well, it's like the two souls separating, and when you separate, one goes up, one goes down. So that means one's going heaven, one going heaven. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, that is pretty cool. Why not? So that was in the nascent stage of the brand. You understand, when I was starting off.
It's crazy. I have to ask you about this thing, because now it all makes so much sense to me. I was looking at the page earlier, and you have some stuff on there that's like I feel like if you were to flip this upside down, this would be like a puzzle to some extent.
Exactly.
Okay, so I was wondering because I was like, why the ghost? It makes sense.
Of
but
all things to choose from, why the ghost?
Got you. So you was drawing something similar to this. It flipped upside down. It looked like a puzzle. Got you.
So you got to be okay to fail sometimes, you know?
I also think it's funny you were creating a logo for an enterprise not knowing what the enterprise was going to do.
Yeah.
Just knowing you wanted to have a business, but not knowing what kind of business.
It will be, yes.
But this is a good approach. You know, there's so many people that they doing the business, but they don't have an LLC. Like that's a common thing for people is like, well, I got to start an LLC. I got to start an LLC. It's interesting to start the LLC and be like, you know what? All right, at least the business is covered. Now, whatever I do is protected. Is really the best way to go about it.
Yes,
you know?
It is, actually.
Because you think a lot of people lose their logos not having the business done.
Precisely. Good
So,
yeah.
very wise. So what was the first thing that you put the logo on as far as clothes goes? And again, why clothes? You just kind of decided like, I'm going to put this logo on some clothes or that's what this enterprise is going to do?
When it comes to clothing, I was watching everybody outside and I was seeing different brands and I was like, hey, maybe I should just have one of my own. So I said, if everybody like hoodie is winter season, let me slap one on a hoodie. And I look at it for myself and I was like, hey, this might look cool. Let me do a couple surveys, go around and ask me how this might look on that hoodie. I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Okay, cool, I'm going to try it. And then I started to see people wearing it. I was like, whoa, that's actually mine.
Got you. It became the thing.
It became the thing. And I was like, if New York is into fashion, why not get into the fashion industry before dive into any other things? You understand?
Got you.
So I just say, I'm going to start with hoodies and then I'm going to go to sweatpants. And then I'm going to go to bags because girls love to rock the bags when they're going out, have stuff to put their phones in,
For sure.
and their jewelry or whatever the case may be, lip balm. So make sure they have that too. And I want to dive into more luxury level as well. I don't want to stick to just streetwear. So that's something I got to get into as well.
So when did you come here? Like when did you come to New York?
Oh, 2019.
What made you come to New York?
For college.
For college. Okay,
Yeah.
so you went to school up here.
Yeah.
Got into the fashion. And putting stuff on clothes, what were people around you wearing? What were you wearing? Because, you know, coming to New York, obviously we have access to like all kinds of different designers and fashion and small businesses, like smaller brands, bigger brands. You know, coming from St. Kitts, I'm sure is not as easy to get your hands on designer stuff on. So coming up here, what were you rocking? And, you know, how did you get into the hoodies and know what hoodies to get into? Because I know down there, too, it's hot. There's not a lot of people wearing hoodies.
Not a lot of hoodies, nah. So apparently when I was in college, I was seeing people rocking, Balenciaga, Hermes, Dior.
Damn, you must have went to a very expensive college.
Oh, yeah, man. Amiri. I was like, where these people get that from? How they can afford that? You know what I mean? I got tuition to pay for it. So I was like, nah, I got to see how I can make my own. So when I see people rocking all these stuff, I can't afford it. So why not make my own clothes for me? So that's why I get the idea I should make my own. You understand? So back home in the Caribbean, you can't get access to all those stuff. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have somebody up here to send it back home to you. Because if you have the currency difference, you see that EC, $1 US is 2.65
Oh, wow.
in St. Kitts.
So it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. Nah, it's double. So it's just like, we can't afford that. But sometimes you'll see people have it in St. Kitts, but people maybe have a gold spoon maybe.
Yeah, they got gold spoon. They scamming. They out here. They say the pieces is hitting. So coming up here and getting into this now, you have to, for people that don't know, and maybe you could put me up on some game. I only know a little bit about the manufacturing process when it comes to clothing, but you got to find blanks, right, to put clothes on. Did you go to like some of these stores, like the designer stores that you saw had quality stuff and figure out, you know, who was making their stuff? How do you come across the quality hoodies and be able to put your logo on something that you know is at the level you want to accomplish things at?
The different type of hoodies kind of give contrast to. I can't take on hoodies that's thin. To be honest, like you go outside in the cold and it's thin and it's like you could feel all the cold still. I want to be comfortable. So I started looking at what you may call it, Amiri. Amiri got some nice quality.
Why Amiri? Just because of the quality?
And the designs they put out too as well.
Okay.
Palm Angel too. Palm Angel got some nice stuff. When I look at it, I see like the cotton. Sometimes some of them is 100% cotton.
So did you go to the store and like actually feel the materials?
Feel them, yeah. Cause I don't want nobody to have a bad thing to say about my brand. So I want to make sure it's in style to have this particular quality.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that I'm on point with that. Otherwise, people gonna be telling me, "Yo, this don't feel good. This is not true to size. It's not durable. Where's the versatility in it?" Yeah, I don't want to have all of that. So I make sure I have everything on site.
What was it like for you going into some of these stores? I mean, I don't know how many times you were here before 2019, but had you come to New York a bunch before, and had you been in any of these stores? Or
Nah.
So you come here in 2019, and this is the first time you walk into like an Amiri or Louis
stores,
Vuitton.
yeah.
What was that experience like?
Oh man, jaw dropping.
I'm sure the stores look different than they do down there.
Way different, man.
Alright.
Bro, you walking in there and you just seeing bright lights and you're seeing there's no dirt on the ground. I'm telling you, there's no dirt on the ground. You can't look at a bag too long because they're going to be like, yo, you're going to buy that. And you know you can't afford that. So it's just like, what am I going to do? Should I walk out of here right now?
They make it feel uncomfortable a little bit.
Uncomfortable, like, that's out of my tax bracket, bro. So I definitely had a great experience, man. For me, growing up, I was in like a esoteric bubble.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't really understand me. So certain things I was getting into, people just maybe question it and they still wouldn't even get an answer out of me. Like, why are you doing these things? Why are you jumping into that and not this? And I feel as though me going into those stores, I feel like I can get the best glimpse of what my brand should be.
Yeah.
And if I do those things, I have my best research at hand and I can get my best quality out there as well. So you have to do your research before you dive into anything.
So you come to New York, you here 2019, go in some of these designer stores, these luxury stores. You're like, I'm going to start messing around, making my own clothes.
Right.
This time now, pandemic is about to come. Mm-hmm. Does that help or hurt the business?
It hurts.
Hurts. And this is brand new.
Nobody buying clothing right now.
Okay.
That hurt, man.
So what were you doing? Because it's getting it just started, putting your logo on some blanks. How were you getting this out there at a time where everything was kind of shut down and you're in a new city doing a new business? It's a lot of change.
Well, it was a good point where you have social media. That was the best part about it. So you can market yourself more without going out into the world and saying, hey, buy my clothes, So it's less work for you as well and see what's your niche market, who is buying your stuff, especially around that time because nobody buying anything but what, food maybe. They don't even come out their house. Well, we in a world right now where people shop online and don't even go in the malls. So I had to dive into creating my own website too as well. So that's where all of the sales start to come from too.
Wow. So you got started with making the merch. Yeah, I'm sure you took photos, everything, put the website together.
Yeah.
And then that became the goal is I'm going to start getting this website going.
Yes, sir. I even had a friend help me with that. She's in IT. I won't disclose her name to the public, but I had people help me with that as well.
That's awesome. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
So, I mean, in getting the website out there, was that word of mouth or it was just strictly on social media?
Oh, word of mouth first because your friend's going to be the ones to tell you, hey, I might just buy it. You know what I mean? I might just. But at the end of the day, they're not the ones to really buy it. It's strangers. Yeah. Strangers are the ones to support you. And that's totally fine. Sometimes people don't got it like that, and that's okay.
When I seen you, we met at the Sexy Red show. A couple months ago. You was in the VIP. We was up there like on the balcony, whatever. I wanted to ask you, who was you there with and what was that? Because I feel like you came in with like artists that was more lit than Sexy Red was. I didn't know what was happening.
Did you took me for a celebrity at that time?
No, I didn't know who you were. I knew you wasn't. Okay. I knew you wasn't one of the performers, but I seen you was maybe on stage with the performers or something. I didn't know where you came from, but I knew. Like again, I've been out the game like maybe 3-4 years now.
Right.
So those artists that performed, I didn't even know who they was at that time. I found out after the fact, but at that time they popped out on stage and the kids, everybody knew every word to their song. And I had no idea. So I think I turned to you. I was a little hot too. I was smoking. I think I asked you like, are you with them or are you an artist or something like that? And you said, no, I'm a designer. But how do you get in those circles? Because to get VIP at the Sexy Red show, I had to make some phone calls, and I get invited to a lot of shit. But that one I had to be like, yo, you think you can hook me up tonight? Like I'm trying to get in this shit. I'm
telling you, that was an expensive concert, bro.
Expensive, you said?
It is, but
you paid to get in?
No.
Okay.
But judging from what the audience and other people were saying to get in, it was
crazy.
It was the prices was up there. My friend, shout out to him, Byron Messiah. he was the one who told me come through and come, experience the luxury of being in VIP. I was like, sure, definitely. So I hopped in my car and I just drove all the way there, man, and we just had a good time. And then I just bumped into this guy,
That's so funny. So things is really coming up off of you just coming up here and taking the initiative to be outside and connect. I mean, you drove almost 2 hours to come here today.
Yeah. And the road was terrible too.
My friend Keith at work would say, you boots on ground, bro. You out here.
Thank you.
So what's the goal with all of this stuff? Because, I mean, it still is fairly new. If you started 2019, we're in 2023. I feel like we lost like 2 years with the pandemic. So really, you've been outside running around with this for like about 2 years, 3 years.
At least that, yeah.
How do you feel like things have transitioned and what's the goal with it?
The transition is crazy because at first people will just be window shoppers. And
Okay.
that's the hard part, the people just saying, oh, it looks dope, but when you gonna buy it?
What's the price point on it?
When I first started, my first sweatshirt I put for like $30.
Oh, that's great. That's
But-
like real. That's cheap, I'd say. That's on the cheaper side of hoodies,
That's true, but
especially quality,
exactly. But yesterday's price is not today's price, as you hear.
for sure.
But as people start to wear it, especially popular people, I was like, these brand influencers hold a good quality to my brand, hold a big value. So I feel as though the price should go up.
Okay.
So with the work I had to put into to make sure everything is precise, because I have a meticulous attitude when it comes to my work. So I definitely want to pay attention to detail, how things are done. That's when I start to carry at the price point.
Okay. So the quality of the merch, everything starts going up. When you say influencers, how do you connect with people and who was the first person that wore it that it translated to like some sales?
Oh,
Like-
Byron Messiah.
Byron Messiah, all
It was
right.
him, man. When people rock that, it was like, yo, Byron Messiah rock your shirt. Like, how can I get one? You know what I mean? And it's initially hard to get one for a lot of people because everything I do, it takes time. It's just me making them at the moment because I don't want everybody to have a hand in it and mess up what I'm trying to make.
So you're making them by yourself.
By
like,
myself.
So you don't have a manufacturer. You're like, you go into the place and actually doing the
I had to invest in all my machines.
wow.
All of them.
And I seen that from firsthand. I seen them everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so where did he start at? He started empty apartment?
I mean, last time that I went basically to get like a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even like, he didn't have it ready for me. So I just had to wait for him to just, make it and everything like
Wow.
that.
How long it took me to make one, bro?
Wow. it took a minute, but just to experience everything, like like the way that he did it and everything, it was dope, man. And it's not cheap. The things that he buys for him to make the sweatshirts, like in good quality and everything, is not cheap. So
It's not cheap, man.
So now I know why he makes the prices the way that he makes the prices, because the things that he buys is not really cheap.
Don't get me wrong, man. I want it to be affordable at first. You understand? And it still is affordable. I'm not gonna go overboard $1,000 for a t-shirt. Nah. But I just feel as though
No, I mean I get what you're saying though. It's like you're not paying for just some hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be a DJ, right? I always say like it doesn't cost a DJ to do anything, to go up and play music. If the music's in the computer and they already own the computer, there's zero expense besides the gas getting to the club. But you're gonna pay a couple $1,000s for a quality DJ because they have years of experience in blending and putting things together a certain way that you're gonna have an experience interacting with that, that process and that creativity. I feel like it's very similar with fashion. It's like people buy these very expensive brands, but you're going to Louis Vuitton, who's a company been around since the 1800s. That's a lot of footwork, And when you put that on, if the brand is doing a good job, you're putting it on because it stands for something. It's not just the quality, but it's the quality matching, the ambition, the energy that comes with that. So I'm sure it's the same for you. It's like you're not just throwing on a high quality hoodie that's going to keep you warm. You throwing on somebody who's running 2 hours to do this interview, to link with that artist, to be at that event, and that's somebody that fast forward, you have a piece from early on. You're like, wow, that's a statement,
And it was worth it too because the next day I had to be at work at 7, and I went to his house around I think it was 12 o'clock midnight, and I basically
went straight to work.
So I got there at 12. I left there at 12 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I got home at 3. Had to wake up at 6, be at work at 7. But the texture and the quality of the sweatshirt, it was really good because yesterday was like the first time that I wore it. Like, the sweatshirt that he made for me, and it was cold, but I really didn't feel no type of coldness.
You don't really feel it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and when people is like, "Where'd you get that?" You just like, "Good luck, good luck."
And some of my friends asked me, where like the sweatshirt that I got, where I got it from, and everything. They basically asked me questions. So yeah, so I basically told them that I got it from him. So he's going to like talk to them for get them, basically what they want.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you, because I was watching earlier today Nico with Bape, that he has something that he used to do. He said, I'll make 50 pieces, 25 go to the artists, the influencers, people for free, 25 get sold to the general public. That was his approach with getting things up. He's like, you're gonna see your favorite rapper in it, and if you want it, you only be able to get 25 of them. Is there an approach with what you're doing and who you'll make clothes for, who you're spending? Because that, if you get there at 8 o'clock, you don't leave till 2, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That's a 6-hour process. You got to be selective. You can't give everybody something that's taking you 6 hours to make. How do you decide where the clothes go? And is there an approach for giving the public some stuff and giving, more exclusive influencer trendsetters some stuff?
I mean, at some point it's going to be capricious because I feel as though it's subject to change in terms of how I do it. Because obviously I can't keep up doing, 5 hours to make a hoodie now. But I feel as though that's why the price point is that. But basically, for limited edition wise, certain things I make when I first started in the nascent stage, I feel as though certain things should be like, let's say 100 of them made. And then I go to like maybe 200 made for homeless people. And then 300 gonna be made for the public. So it depends on who you're giving it to, because obviously you can't just be giving out anything to celebrities, because it's not always they're going to wear it. You understand? They might just take it from me and then they might just throw it in the trash can. So I'm very particular who I give my stuff to. But at the same time, maybe what you can do is maybe go next to them and take a nice picture, and maybe that might just build my influence. For sure. So I feel as though that's a good way to go about it. But I don't just make like 1,000 and then just keep them there, because you got to understand supply and demand, you know what I mean? Once I have a high demand of them, then that's when I'm going to start working on all of them at once. But I don't want to just have things stacked up in my house and I don't have no space now and nobody is buying, and I've invested all my time in all of this and then all my money gone to waste.
That's the thing other people don't realize too with the clothing brands is like, it's not just make one and put it out there. You got to make a small, a medium, a large, an extra large. You have to have variety in size and texture, everything. There's a lot of work that goes into it on the back end.
Right.
Are you ever, I don't want to say discouraged, but are you ever like, conscious or thoughtful of the fact that there's so many people that are making clothes right now? And how do you stand out from that outside of just having, this work ethic that's making very, very high quality stuff, and very unique stuff, obviously. But how do you get the point across that it's like, that is different?
Hey, man, it's an arduous task. With that said, all these things that I do is not easy, man. Like, when you really sit down and think of it, sometimes people look at me and I might seem pensive. So I go in deep thought. And it's like, do people really rock with me? Are people really going to buy it? But I'm just telling you, man, just go another day. A day after that. Maybe next week. Maybe next month. You just never know, because the opportunity you're looking for, it might just be right around the corner, but it might just turn your back on it on the last minute when it's right there. And I feel as though you should never give up on what you're doing. So I feel like with the arduous task that I was saying, people are going to make their stuff, but I can't look at them as competition. Right now, my competition is me.
Well said.
I don't have any competition at this point. Everybody makes hoodies, all of this stuff. But the way I think and how they think is different. So I don't want to be looking at them like, man, I got to be like this. I got to keep up with them. Nah, there's no benchmarking going on around here. Nah, I just feel as though I do me. I make sure I put out what I feel is comfortable for people. And if they like it, and if they don't like it, that's up to them.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's helping you stand out and that's going to ultimately make you successful in this is even just where this conversation started with what it means. Because a lot of people, they make a cool looking logo and then they try to figure out what it means. But everything with you, it feels like it's come together just kind of organically.
It correlates with each other.
Yeah. which is rare. You know, a lot of people they try to work at that and it never clicks. You know, for it to click with you, where it's just and the iPad mess up, it flips, and it became something that really embodied everything you were trying to figure out. It seems like it's choosing you more than you have to chase it.
But look at this transition though. From when I look at the puzzle when it came out, and I say like, oh, it's not just a mirror soul anymore, it's a puzzle. I'm looking at it, it looks like it's a puzzle. I realize life is a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you make a puzzle, bro, and you put it down, and you really just dish out all of the pieces, and you start to wonder, like, where should I start? Like, you're just confused, man. Where should I start? Like, where's the first piece? Life is like all these pieces. This is when you went to college. Boom. This is when you get a child. Boom. It's all milestones. You understand? And you got to be appreciative of the journey that you're going through as well. Because when you go through all of these stuff, you start to build a puzzle and then you start to see the bigger picture. And you can't be too close up to it. To be honest, you got to like step back and see the picture for what it is. Sometimes you're too close to the picture. So that's how I look at the brand too with the anthem Soul Choice. That's how the season is started. So Soul Choice season 1. What I'm trying to do is when people have their friends around, right? I want to make people make the right decisions. So when you're with your friends, I don't want you to just sit and partying all the time, doing this and that. You might just help build their puzzle as well. So don't just have your friend, oh man, I'm going out tonight, man. You coming, man? Nothing is wrong with that, Mike. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Nothing is wrong with going out. But there's a time and place for everything. That's what we say back home too. There's a time and place for everything. So where I might see him might be messing up, I was like, yo, bro, you got to do better than that. You know what I mean? And the reason I put soul choice, I want to emphasize the choices we make. Because a lot of the times we just make choices and we don't think about the risk. And nothing is wrong with taking risks, because the biggest risk you can take is not taking a risk.
Not taking a risk
at all.
For sure.
So I wanted to get it in his head like, yo, man, I feel as though that's okay what you're doing. But maybe you might just need to step back a little bit and work on yourself, because at the same time, you might be spending all this money when you could invest in something. You know what I'm saying? So soul choices. And I think for the epitome of my brand, which is God, I feel as though he's the one that making this brand blow up to a point where I don't want people just wear clothing. I want them to have a reason why they wear it. So when you wear this, you got to be like, what am I doing today? Should I make a bad decision? Nah.
I make good decisions.
You know when people say wake up and they choose violence? No, that's not what you do when you wear these clothes. You don't understand? So I'm going to study today. I'm going to work out today. I'm going to go down the road and maybe give somebody $1. You know what I mean? The choices we make matter, because that helps build your puzzle. And there's nothing wrong making mistakes, but you got to learn from your mistakes, man. So thanks. I feel as though people mess up a lot when it comes to that. Learn from your mistakes. Don't be making the same thing every week, and you know that it's wrong. You know what I mean? Some people are presumptuous. Yeah. Like they do the same thing all the time, but they know it's wrong. You understand? So I want them to get it right, man. So when you wear this, you'll be like, okay, then I have a task today, and I'm gonna get it done. And people around me are gonna gravitate to that as well. Yo, we're making the right choice today. We're not gonna be doing foolishness. We're gonna have our time to have fun. You understand? Yeah. We're gonna have our time to have fun, but honestly, we need to get it together in order for us to evolve. So that's all I'm trying to say with this brand, essentially. And then when all of that is put and set in stone, your puzzle come out, and then you realize you could look back and be like, yo, we really invested in our life, and look at us now. We are established in the world, and we're getting it together.
That's it, putting the pieces together. Would you ever branch off into other stuff? Like, you know, obviously you do the bags and a lot of the clothing, but would you ever do like furniture? Are you into things outside of just the clothing?
Oh, yeah, man. Because that's where I was going towards the bags too. I was contemplating about the bags though, because I don't know if men gonna like rock the bag or anything, but it seems pretty unisex to me. People could rock it, man or female. But I feel as though at the end of the day, furniture, we can do that. We can do that, right? Facts. Man, we're not limiting ourselves at this point, man. We're just going out there and doing what we can and making sure people rock with it.
What's your thoughts on watching this from the ground up and to see where it's at now? I mean, he told me he doesn't sleep. I know he don't sleep. But what's it been like watching it, you know, as a friend? And how did you guys connect? You connected in New York, or did you guys go back?
We go back to I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we basically went to the same college. And we met like in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
He met someone that I basically was in class with. So that's how we connected and everything, and throughout like the years, just meeting him and everything, that's how he basically, brought his brand to me. He told me, about it. And I was really like, supportive because I'm a supportive friend. Mm-hmm. I'm always going to tell him,
all the time,
go for it because life is about taking risks.
For sure.
Can't really do that. So you got to take risks in life and everything. So just seeing everything from the bottom and going away all the way to the top is amazing because
it was a lot.
It's a lot because he doesn't, he doesn't sleep. He really doesn't sleep at all. So.
Yeah, sometimes he be calling me, man, at 2:00, and he probably be wondering, why am I up?
I just finished making a hoodie. I started at 8:00. I got another one to make. It's gonna be 8:00 again, just around the clock.
And that's just my life.
Are you from out here? You grew up in New York?
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx.
Got you.
Yeah, I was born in DR. Came here when I was 5 years old. So
okay.
I was around here for a long time.
So you know what's going on out here.
Yeah, I really do.
How
you know what's going on out here.
I feel like it's got to be a big advantage for you to have somebody who understands the city and knows what's what,
He saved my life one time, man. Yo, let me look at the camera, man. This guy saved my life one. And this is what I'm talking about, having friends that you can count on, you understand? My circle is very small. As you can see, I only have 2 people in here. Mm-hmm. I have other friends, yes. But I'm very particular who I put myself around with because if you're not teaching me something on a regular, if you're not helping me grow, we're not helping each other, why are you around me? You understand where I'm coming from? It's easy to be on the side of the block, man, and just start smoking and then just...
Yeah.
Look, great minds think alike, and this is what happened. So... This guy, he gets all the girls, you know what I'm saying? But before I even go to that, when he saved my life, I was getting to a point where I was actually broke. And this is going to get kind of serious. And he was walking with me outside the cafeteria. And he was going home. He was catching the train, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was catching the train. And I was telling him yo, man, this is a way for me to make money, man. You think I should do this? And he was like, yo, he just stopped me right there. I'm not going to disclose what it actually is, but he was telling me, yo, I've seen this before. And if you don't pull out right now, you're going to be ending up in some shit, man. Get it together.
It's going to get bad.
Yeah. And not much people will tell me that, man. You understand?
Yeah.
You always hear the term scared money don't make no money. But nah, he's not about that. You feel me? He's making sure that I stay on my P's and my Q's. You understand? So nah,
it's necessary too, man. I gotta say, you do a good job too at attracting positive energy, because for sure at that Sexy Red show, you was probably one of the few people that wasn't toxic in there. Everybody in there was mad toxic. It was
the funny thing is, man, he will tell you I don't drink.
No, me, I don't drink. I smoke, but I don't drink.
And I don't smoke either.
He doesn't do none of that, bro.
It's good though. Just keep it up, man. I wish I could go back and not smoke, bro. For a long time, it was the biggest vice. I've chilled out with it now, and it definitely helps me sleep and rah-rah, but I don't need it at all. Mm-hmm. But before, I felt like I really needed it to deal with anxiety and stress. And if I could go back, I would have figured out healthier ways to deal with that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's good that you never touched any of that stuff because it helps you operate from a clear frame of mind,
And it wasn't... it was a hard thing to do. I'm just not easily persuaded. You understand? I always go on my own intuition and what I think is best for me. So I feel as though, that's not for me and I'm not going to do it.
What's in the future for you? Because, there's a lot of ways you could go in the fashion world, whether it's opening stores, whether it's getting into design and doing things on a scale where you sell into these bigger companies. What's your thoughts for the future? And, are you looking a year ahead, 10 years ahead? What do you do? Is it more just be in the moment?
I have a future goal, long-term goal. I feel as though it's going to be an IPO I'm going to put out as well.
Fire.
Because I don't want to just stay dormant. I want to get that going as well. With that said, I want to actually have stores in different states. I'm thinking Miami first. And then we go to New York. And then we probably hit to Jersey. I won't disclose that to the public anymore, you know what I mean? When it happens, it happens. But yeah, I don't want to just have the store one spot. It's going to be hard for me to get it to people, and it can't always be shipping, because it costs to ship too, you understand? So people should be able to walk in the stores. But it's kind of tricky though. We're in world right now, nobody really goes into stores.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard for me too as well. But at the moment, yes, I still do want to put some stores out there, especially in my country too. I was going
to say, like, depending where you place them, you know, stores, people still go out, especially if you put something in St. Kitts that's like very like high-end luxury, you're going to attract a lot of people.
A lot of people, right? Yeah.
You know?
Definitely, man. Back home, y'all gonna get some stuff. Don't worry, man. I know, they be texting my phone like, yo, when we gonna get one, bro? Like, to send one hoodie home, bro, that's above $500 because I can't just send it like just alone. I gotta go in a barrel and do all kind of stuff. Because if I just send the hoodie, it's gonna cost an arm and a leg. I gotta send it like with maybe food and stuff like that, canned stuff, and maybe shampoo, just fill a whole barrel, and then I could probably throw some clothes in there and like, yo, y'all got some limited edition, go and get it now until I get the store. You understand? So don't be patient, y'all gonna get it, don't worry.
Have you been back home since moving up here, or you've been up here and just kind of locked in on doing the business?
If I've been back home, right now I've just been locked in on the business.
Got you. So the plans to stay in New York for the time being, keep building things, and then eventually expand, go everywhere.
This is how I look at it, man. The easiest thing right now is to go back home.
For sure.
Just have fun, man. That's paradise. St. Kitts is paradise. Yo, whoever looking at a luxury, nice paradise place to go to, St. Kitts is the place to go to. I'm telling you right now, shout out to St. Kitts. But I feel as though that's in my retirement stage.
Okay.
I don't want to do things that's really easy. Come on, if it was easy, everybody will do it, right? Like, I don't want to do that right now. I feel like maybe when I turn maybe 40 or so, I'll definitely build a bucket list. And then I get to it and I go down there and just go on those jet skis, man, have a drinks with some friends. But not drinks in terms of like get drunk. Drink in terms of drink to the occasion.
Yeah, I got you. Nah, I know what you mean.
But honestly, that's the goal too as well, man. So I can't just go home right away. I have some work to do here still.
Is there any like brand or any person you want to collaborate with in the future?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Jerry Lorenzo, Fear of God. I want to collab with him. I would like to collab with Kanye West too as well. He did something to the market that really struck me. Like, a lot of people didn't believe in Kanye West when he first brought out those clothes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
People was like, what are these, man? Like, why are people rocking this? And I was like, I was the one saying to myself that, hey, maybe he might be onto something. I mean, 2 years later, I see this thing blow up, and I'm like, you see, if you just believe in yourself, bro. So he probably got some ideas to give me in the future if I definitely get to work with him. So Jerry Lorenzo, Kanye West, these are two good designers. But that's it for now. That's it for now.
Got you. Those are great goals, though, bro. And it seems like, you know, mentality-wise, it's very similar to how those guys operate. You know, they're as much as people talk down on Kanye and how wild he is, that man is able to get so much attention just off of his ideas. You know what I mean? He doesn't try to sell you anything. He just tells you what he feels, and you subscribe or you don't. And, you know, it really gives me a similar feeling to how you talk about your brand, where it's like, you know, yeah, we have the high quality hoodies, we got high quality stuff, but it's the time, the effort, and the energy that goes into it, and the fact that you're willing to challenge yourself and not just go home and take it easy. You know, it says a lot for what the future of the brand's gonna be. You know, that's a lot of the companies that we see that still exist now, you know, the Hermes, the Louis Vuitton, these big staples, you know, they start as like luggage companies from years ago, and it takes so much time and so much risk to evolve and continue to become, you know, furniture companies, audio companies, they're putting out headphones, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know, so I think when you approach things like that, you could take these chances and things could stick. Where if you just take those easier routes, yeah, you might make a lot of money, but it's like the legacy gets lost in translation, you know?
I think we was talking earlier too, and you was telling me like if I would sell the brand, if I would ever do that. I don't think I should do it because I want when people look at the brand, they remember me. You understand? It's easy to sell a brand, make money now, but money comes and goes.
Yeah. So, you see what's happening with Supreme right now?
Yeah.
With that whole situation? Selling a brand, bro. And it's like, and now it's all, you know, homie shifted to denim tears, and that's their thing, and it's
all over the place.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, these brands, I mean, I don't know, like, again, they do a great job of selling stuff, but it's like what Supreme meant for 10 years, there's no way they have this long-lasting legacy just because they sold the brand and it got very, you know, you could get anything you want on Thursday now. Yeah. You don't gotta worry about, you know, whereas like back in the day, you'd be like, damn, it's Thursday. I lost. I can't get anything. It's already sold. That's over. You know, so it's crazy what, you know, again, you can have the logo, everything, but it's the people that really make things tick.
Yeah, because to be honest, if I put somebody on it, like, are you going to stick to the meaning of it? Are you going to divert to something else? I don't want that for the brand. You're going to look bad on me too. Let's say I die and my legacy goes down the drain because somebody want to put some twerking videos out with my brand. Like, nah, bro, that's not what it stands for. I want people to get closer to God.
Yeah, I mean, and you can make those hoodies in 3 minutes if you just run them through printers, but it's like, it doesn't mean anything, like, compared to being there and seeing a whole process. And I genuinely believe in, people might think I'm crazy, but I really believe in energy, and I feel like you could put that energy into anything material, you know? Right. It's like you said, when you wearing it, if I'm wearing this hoodie, I'm thinking like, damn, somebody put a lot of time into this. I need to spend more time making my decisions today versus like, oh, I just threw this on. I got stuff to do and I'm going to be quick with my thinking.
I got a perfect example, man. When you buy a phone, right? Boom. You buy a phone and then you get it. It's just like, wow, this is so good, man. I spent so much bread on this too, man. I spent mad bank on this phone. I'm going to take care of this phone. I'm going to buy a case for this phone, a screen protector, everything. Man, give that 5 months. You're throwing that on the bed. You even know where to find the phone, man. But that's what I'm saying with what I'm doing. It's just like, I want people to remember it and appreciate it. So it's not really about the money per se. It's about this guy really putting hard work, right? And I feel like even down to what I put on the hoodie, there's a signature on each hoodie that I do.
Wow.
That's tough too.
Like a physical signature. Like you take a pen and you write.
Not even a pen. I stitched it in.
Wow.
Give him the gift, yeah.
This guy said he got
I have a gift for you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Got you, bro. Just open them, bro.
This is wild.
This is the Soul Choice.
All right.
Soul Choice tote bag.
Soul Choice tote. You see it with the Dakbo on the back, the pockets on the front. See, that's what I'm saying is he put the pockets on here. People don't even know, man. Pockets is necessary. But
pockets is essential, man.
Essential for real. What? Okay. You see, I know about the packaging too. I'm gonna tell you, man. Even just like having the bags, every little piece, people don't realize, man. It takes time, it takes energy. You know what I'm saying? It don't come with the zipper with the Ziploc bag. It's a lot of people with the Ziploc bag.
That's your little fortune.
Beautiful. Following others' paths is like entering a dark room without light. Beautiful with a signature. I'm gonna put this in one of these frames over here, man. And
that's just me just being connected with my audience. You understand?
Yeah, nah, that's incredible. Damn. You see, that's a stitch.
That's a signature right there. So that's the soul writing. That's the soul right there, writing the signature itself.
Wow. And I love this logo, man. I told you I was looking at this earlier. That looked like 3M too. That's fire.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Thank you so much, man.
I even have woven tags on top of it,
oh my gosh. I hope this fits. This is a large. Is this an XL? This is an XL. All right.
You know I got you, bro. Come on, man.
I'm a rocket. You're going to see me in this everywhere.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, bro. That's sick. And I love that you put the stitching. Like, again, it's the little details that go such a long way, bro. And not for nothing, when people start bootlegging, they're not going to be able to.
You can't do that.
How do you feel about bootleggers? I seen a video, too, about Virgil talking about bootleggers the other day. I want your thoughts before I tell you what he said. But.
Look, nothing in life is worth having if it's going to be given easy. You understand? Yeah. So if you're going to be bootlegging shit, like, you got to understand, like, people really be putting in some hard-earned money into these stuff, investing their life savings just to get their things going. And you're going to just go out here and just copyright stuff and get it going for yourself. And you ain't know the hard work people had to put in to do that. So for me, I feel like bootleggers should stop. Like, on a whole, just stop, man. Like, be creative. Like, really sit down, brainstorm, and see what's best for you. And start drawing for your own belief, what you think this should be like, what you think this is going to come out and look like. And stop bootlegging. That's it. Like, I'm not even condoning that. That's my opinion.
I like your take, because your take is the opposite of what Virgil said. It's the complete opposite. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can connect to this thing. I want to play you what he said, just because I know you into the fashion game. Hold up. But yeah, he said something. So he was like, that bootlegging is the ultimate flattery, right? But hold up. I don't want to mess up his words.
Of course not RIP, man.
Yeah, nah. Were you a fan of his stuff? Because I know he's like the main dude. When people think of streetwear and like fashion, he influenced people like Kanye and a lot of others. So I know he's been like the staple, at least for this generation. But what's your thoughts on like the Off-White, on all that stuff?
Genius. That's self-explanatory, man.
I'm trying to find this where I saved it at. But he said essentially he was like that bootleggers is like the ultimate flattery. He's like, if somebody can make something that came from my idea and feed their family off it, that's the ultimate form of flattery. And he's like, and by the time they're able to copy it, he's already on to the next thing, so it don't even matter. But I mean, you should check that out one day. I can't even find the post. It was something I came across on Instagram. But yeah, man, I thought that was like so special. Oh, hold up. Here it is. Let me see. Yeah, let me see if this plays.
Talked a lot about democratizing design. Yeah. And I wonder how you would feel about like counterfeits, and I guess, I don't know, if you just like threw the cat up for your furniture online, does it have to be made by you to be Off-White?
Nah, exactly. That's what Off-White is different.
It says it's
like
playing.
I love counterfeits. It's the best feedback. It's better than like
that's
I heard that before.
Like if it's working,
You hear it?
Yeah, I heard that
to the
before.
point where someone else can profit off that, that means it's really working. You know, you're not taking anything away from me. You're actually just advertising more. But I love the open source. Like maybe, I'll put up the CADs of the furniture. You know,
they're going to be able to hear it, but I can't hear it in the headphones. You can hear it in the headphones?
Yeah, like a collab that teaches people about fashion. So it's releasing the pattern with the product. Like you can make it yourself. But that's like a Margiela idea. Everything's been done, by the way. But
you talked a lot about
if you have to know that it's been done, you have to like be educated about the process. But I feel that's what Off-White, what you honed in on is what Off-White is. Off-White isn't, and what you sort of touched on is like it's expensive. It's also not a fashion brand. Of course it is, but it's only see how Off-White came to be. It's
I don't know. Y'all gotta check that out. I can't hear it in the headphones, but I see it's playing into here so people can hear it.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I just thought that was such a crazy take because I was like, I felt the same way. I'm like, these bootleggers is crazy, but I'm like,
so you agree with him or you don't agree with him?
I don't know. I agree with you to some extent because I do feel like it is a straight ripoff. You know what I'm saying? And it does to some extent take money out of the pocket of these bigger designers. At the same time, is like it is flattery, that not everybody, like I definitely used to buy like fake Louis Vuitton wallets and fake Nikes because I couldn't afford anything. And it's like if I made those things, I'd be flattered, but I would be tight about the bread. And I thought it was interesting that he wasn't tight about the bread at all because he's like, I make more than enough money. And the fact that people could support they people off of something I made, it like really says something to the legacy of it, Yeah. And if you walk down Canal or Fifth or any of these streets that they have everything out, through Times Square, like it's 6, 7 o'clock when it gets dark, they put all the shit. It's all the same stuff. It's never the stuff that you're going to find in the store at that season, at that time. By the time that they bootlegging like the Pharrell collection from Louis or like any, it's like they already done a new collab, something completely different. So it's like they're not gonna put these hoodies out. They're gonna start bootlegging them when you making furniture. You know what I'm saying? And it's like at the end of the day, the people that's really into the collecting and the brand, they gonna know what's what just based on the detail. But for the people that can't afford to rock it, I do think it is some flattery to it. It's just, that they might get clowned because the quality is never up there. It's never up there.
Same.
So, I mean, I guess to each his own, but I thought that was like a really interesting take because more times than not, I've always heard just like these bootleggers.
But I mean, it's easier said than done coming from him because he already made it. It's hard for somebody who's just starting off.
Facts.
So you're trying to rip me off, and I'm still in the nascent stage. Come on, man, get it together, man.
Yeah, no, definitely keep it for these big companies. It's around since the 1800s. The people that's making, there's more than enough money. I do believe too, like if you were putting out $1,000 t-shirts, I would understand people wanting a bootleg. If you have things that are reasonably priced and they're priced at the point where the brand is at, there's going to be a time where the brand crosses a threshold where people can't afford it, can't save for it, and it's just out of grasp. At that point, if people is making bootlegs, and you're evolving the brand, is going to separate it, but it's free advertising to some extent too. So I understand where he came from with that point. But
limited edition, high demand, low supply.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess too, it goes back to what you say is some people make brands to sell them, some people make brands to hold on to them. I'm sure everybody's got different tastes, and what works for one guy might not work for the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure chopping it up. We've been talking for like an hour. You know, I feel like I hit a lot of questions too. I have a list of questions. I feel like I didn't even look at it much, but if I look back at it, I feel like if I look back at it, it's like all the questions I ended up asking.
But let me ask you a question. What
Please do.
What was your first impression when you first saw this brand, man?
I didn't even know what was up with the brand, bro. It was you. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not somebody like I don't really chase the brands necessarily. Like I bought a lot of Louis Vuitton stuff because I used to buy the fake stuff and I always wanted to buy the real. And when I started making some bread, I started buying it. And I'm like, honestly, now I have like probably like 10,000, 15,000 worth of like designer stuff. And if I could sell it all, bro, and like just exclusively rock stuff that's like for people that I know and put that money towards investing, I probably would do that. Like, like you know, sense. it was like one of those things where it's like people always want, everybody wants this girl. You meet the girl and she got a bad attitude. You know what I mean? It was like, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate it and I love it. And there's certain pieces that like my briefcase, I love it. Like it makes me feel a certain like boss mentality. Like not just anybody could be at that. And that's the level that I've worked to, you know, but at the same time, most people that have that stuff, they just have the money and they don't have, you know what I mean? And now I'm learning that, you know, if I could put that same money towards, you know, a brand that's coming up and it could help them, I want to be part of like, I got the trunk from Louis, you know, in the 1800s. Like, I don't want to be the dude that's like, I got the fall 2025, you know? But I guess, I don't know. For me, clothes have always been a reflection of like how I'm growing up. Like even with the chrome, like it's not anything necessarily about this hoodie that's special. I wear an Abercrombie hoodie that's soft as hell. It was $50 that like I probably enjoy just as much quality wise, but like I enjoy the fact that like this is a family that's making this, that it's not just in any store, that it's like, you know, something that really has more meaning to it. And like I shop this spot called Hirschleifers. You ever hear Hirschleifers? No. This is a store out here that's owned by like a family, and they have a Chanel store inside their store. It's crazy. It's like the only store that has a Chanel store inside of it. And the people that run it, it's like these two women, that's like their family name. It's like just thinking like these people is so gangster that they got Chanel to put a store in their store is crazy. Like I want to support them. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of been shopping more for support, but I'll buy certain brands that I feel like have that legacy. And the chrome, the Louis, I love it, but I'll wear it with some regular ass Nike sweats too.
So you will feel different for that now that you have it. You could be honest. You could be truly honest.
Well, not. So I say, bro, straight up, like I'm gonna rock this with some like probably designer sweats, right? And it's like, I feel like the quality warrants wearing this with something that maybe is $1,000 pants or something, and it's just whatever feels. Like I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna feel good. I've been wearing these Golden Goose sneakers lately. They come beat up everything, but I start wearing them. I love them, and it's more so because people look at them, they're just like dirty ass shoes. But I know that they like made with really high quality Italian leather. They feel different than like the Jordans I was buying for the same money. That was like just you could tell they was made in a factory, you know. So it's like, I don't know. It's when you say that you step out and you want to feel like inspired, like I want to step out and feel like I got this swag and I got this energy. And
like it feels good to have something that nobody else have too. At the same time,
to some extent. I mean, I assume everybody got everything. Like when it comes to this, like it definitely feels good to have something that nobody else has, because I know they're gonna be like, "Where'd you get it?"
Get it from, yeah.
But like stuff like the chrome, like not everybody has chrome, and if anything, it makes me feel like worse wearing it than like not everybody, because I feel like a dick spending mad money on it. But it does make me feel like swaggy at work and in like certain circles. I don't know.
I understand.
But it's definitely like I dress for energy. You know, there's days where I prefer, like I got these what's it called? These etnies. You hear etnies, like the sneakers. They like these chunky skateboard sneakers. You get them for like $50 on Amazon. And there's days where I just love throwing them shits on a white t-shirt and just thugging out. You know, just fit, and that make me feel good for the day. You know, so it depends. Like, I'm also around a lot of people that have money that buy designer stuff and they don't know how to dress. You know,
There you go.
and they have like $10,000 fits, and they make no.
Man, you will be surprised to see how much
100%
people don't know how to dress in some of these clothes, man.
You know?
You'll be surprised.
It's wild. So I don't know. I dress just however I feel that day's calling me. Sometimes it'll be $20 worth of clothes. Sometimes it'll be $10,000 worth of clothes.
Right.
You know, I threw on the other day, like, cause like I said, I'm brand new to having any money. And like for a while, like the past year or so, I've been like on my bougie shit. And honestly, and the other day I took everything out the Louis Vuitton bag. I threw the Louis in the closet. I have like an old MCM bag I bought from like this homie that I used to hang out with for like $300.
Okay.
And I just threw all my shit in it. I felt like I was dressed going to the radio station again. It felt good. It made me like happy for the day, you know? So yeah, it's to each his own. But
Yeah,
that's how I approach it. I'm really like mad generic in the sense of like just dress how you feel comfortable, you know? But yeah,
I like that, man. I like that to be
I'm
honest.
hyped to throw this on. I'm hyped for everybody to ask me, yo, what's that? I'm telling the whole story. I'm be like, yo, you gotta listen to podcasts. They pulled up. I met homie at the Sexy Red show, but he don't want nobody twerking in his hoodies.
Yo, I
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, if you rock it and do whatever you want in it, but the whole purpose of it is for you to make right decisions. That's all.
Facts.
It's your money. You can do whatever you want in it, but I just feel as though know what you're doing, still be conscious of what you're doing, and get it done.
Nah, well said.
It was a pleasure, you know, for like having us over here in your broadcast.
Thank you, man.
Amazing.
Yeah,
man.
nah, it's a pleasure chopping up with y'all. I know I'm moving soon, but y'all welcome anytime, for real. I mean, if you ever come out to the West Coast, I'm gonna have all this shit set up in a house out there.
Oh yeah,
for
we
sure.
over there, man. We're lit, as they like to say. We're lit.
That's it.
We outside.
I
We
appreciate
outside,
it.
bro.
You already
Dakbo in the building. How you pronounce it? I don't fuck it up.
It's Moises, but people calls me Mo. Just
Mo.
call me
Mo,
Okay, got you,
straight
Mo.
off the bat.
Yeah.
Say that. All right. Well, Moise is in the building. Mo in the building. My man Dakbo in the building. Where can they find you at?
You can get Dakbo official. So it's Dakbo_official on Instagram.
Bow. Make sure you look them up. You'll catch me outside in the hoodies. Thank you so much, my brother.
Anytime, man. Much love.
Until next time, y'all.